if you're world building a religion, don't start with the gods, start with this checklist. Because the best worlds aren't built on geography, they're built on belief. And religions can be powerful factions that shake up your stories and settings, as long as you world build them right. I'm Janet from World Anvil, and as a published author and game writer, I've learned that world building doesn't have to be overwhelming. You can actually build a rich, organised religion for your RPG world or your fantasy novel right now by answering just 4 questions. This is the religion world building template that gets your readers and players curious and excited to learn more. Let's start with the basics. What is the basic philosophy of the religion you're creating? Sure, that'll be influenced by the god or gods the religion worships, but different religions might view the same god very differently and have different doctrines, traditions, or practices as well. For example, a sun god might be celebrated with feasts and song as a bringer of harvest, but for other people, he's appeased with sacrifices as a herald of drought and wildfire and destruction. And of course, what's your religion's primary focus? Is it charity, moral purity, holy war, inner peace, protecting the innocent, or punishing, maybe even sacrificing, those they deem guilty? And how does your religion achieve its goals? Is it with soup drives or clandestine activities? Now you know who your religion is, let's talk about how they appear to others. In storytelling, we say show, don't tell, and it's exactly what this next stage is all about. Consider how the philosophy and agenda of your religion is conveyed to others. Do priests wear robes? Do they have tattoos? Do they hold weekly services or work in the community? And what about their religious practices? Do they go on pilgrimages? Demand tithes, offer healing, convert others, abduct them for ritual sacrifice? And if you're in a D&D style world, do clerics get particular powers from this religion? Theming cleric and paladin spells can be really interesting. For example, your fireball might be called Cleansing Fire, or Ra's Wrath, or Apollo's Burning Eye, depending on who's wielding it. Same spell, different vibes. And your clerics might have special rituals they need to perform in order to replenish their powers, like praying, or dancing, or sacrificing wombats at the full moon. You know, something themed to your deity and religion. Moon wombats. Just saying. Another rich area is the emotions they provoke in society, and whether that reaction is different depending on class or background. In T. Kingfisher's fantasy novels, priests of the White Rat get a very different reaction from those of the Hanged Mother. Both claim to revere justice, but one will represent you in court against a greedy landlord, the other will burn you at the stake. Just saying. Extend this to your religious colours, mottos, and insignias. It'll help you show the vibe of your religion to your players and your readers. Then you can use those visual symbols to ratchet up tension or provide a glimmer of hope when the characters see them. Or even as a shorthand to explain who a character is. That's efficient, immersive storytelling. And for those of you familiar with this channel, yes, these are all prompts on the World Anvil organisation template. Add them to your articles from the plus prompts button to get even more inspiration and examples as you create. Next up, as with every kind of organisation, and yes, religions are mostly organisations, what kind of power does your religion wield? Who can they influence and how? Do they have land and wealth, like the Knights Templar, who are famous for becoming one of the first banks in Europe? The Greek Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church are other great examples of this. They both hold huge amounts of wealth and land, which gives them a lot of power, even beyond the belief that they sway. And what are their diplomatic relations to other religions, to organisations and factions? These might be simple. Everyone hates the evil chaos cult after all, right? Except, what if they're secretly funding a more respectable faith? Or they've been set the task of undermining a country by quietly recruiting key members of the military? Intrigue and diplomacy like this can get interesting very quickly, and you'll see stories develop as you pen out your religion's ties. A diplomacy web can really help keep track of all of this, especially when you have several religions, nations, and guilds in your world. World Anvil generates them for you automatically, so you can focus on the world building. And finally, how is your religion structured internally? You don't need to go too deep on this, but it will be important if you have characters that are part of this religion or who get involved in their power struggles. Plus, it's often important to know who outranks whom for the purposes of political manoeuvring. Use title templates for each role on World Anvil and then organise them in a content tree so you can quickly reference the difference between a second Primarch and an Arch Acolyte when you're in flow. And as a bonus question, I recommend creating some deep, dark secrets, 3 or 4, for your religion. This sparks controversy, potential conflict, as people within the religion do desperate things to uncover them, or to keep them hidden. A little bit of history can be very useful for that, so you might want to crack open your World Anvil timeline. And there you have it, 4 quick questions to help you build a rich, complex religion that'll provide any number of stories for your world setting. Are these checklists helpful? If so, what area of world building should we cover next? And if you missed it, go and watch 4 questions for world building a culture next to continue building your cultural landscape of your setting. Please like and subscribe for more world building advice and tips. Then grab your holy hammer and go world build.